Good morning. I'm out here in Joseph, Oregon on Pacific time. I traveled for a wedding. It was a wedding yesterday. First, let me say this is not financial advice, and I'm wearing sunglasses because the sun is literally in my eyes right now. I wanted to put out more videos this weekend because it was an exciting weekend, and now it is an exciting day. Somebody had a wedding on Monday, by the way. It's really, really different. Feels like it's Monday today, and it's actually Tuesday, and it is launch day of the animal farm, what we've all been waiting for. We're in the drip community, and it's just like, I can't believe it. It's here. It's finally here. 50 minutes away, I think, at the time of this, as I'm recording this video. But I just wanted to just get on and chat a little bit about what I'm expecting, what we're all expecting, but also what it really is. Like, regardless of expectations, regardless of whether or not regardless of whether or not it happens the way we want it to. I just wanted to chat a little bit about the bigger picture of what Forex has built here, and how this has the potential to play out, whether or not Animal Farm launch shoots everything to the moon today, which would be exciting. I totally believe it's possible. But yeah, and there's so many great YouTubers in the drip community. Shout out to all of you. Stunna, Crypto Kings, I love your stoke. Scott the Investor, I love your different perspective. Beach Office, Striptopian. You guys are all amazing. Been listening to you for forever. And if you want to hear like strategy and just kind of catch up on that, go watch them. I will definitely do some strategy videos and some more things like that. But right now I just want to talk about what I think the Forex Shark ecosystem is, and why it's worth not just getting hyped about and disappointed in if it doesn't go exactly the way you planned or wanted it to go. It's about 50 minutes till Animal Farm launch. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, Oregon, and with not great internet, and I am just so freaking excited to see what goes down, how this plays out, and also want to talk a little bit about like why I think it's important to see the big picture and see like the long game, and not just get hung up on like an immediate result or expectation that you have of the Animal Farm launch and how that will go, because I think that this ecosystem that Forex has built is so much bigger and so much more important than just like, get your quick buck. And so I'm excited for several reasons. Yes, just as much as anyone, I want everything to moon as soon as it launches. So I've talked mostly about drip so far in my videos. Drip is the first thing I got into, and I think that the part of the ecosystem that drip is like the like just everyday kind of making your money work for you part of it, right? And one of the reasons I started this channel, and I kind of talk about this in simpler terms than the usual DeFi terms, is because I really want this to become, I think DeFi should become mainstream right now, because I think blockchain, as you guys may have gathered in some of my other videos, I think that blockchain technology is inevitably the future of finance. And if we don't pay attention now, if everybody doesn't pay attention now, the DeFi communities are strong and they get it and they understand, but this needs to be all of us. Like the cool thing about DeFi and blockchain is it has the potential to be for everyone. And you guys should have heard me like yesterday at the wedding trying to talk to people about DeFi and crypto, and it was pretty funny because they were like, okay. But I just didn't stop, and I won't stop because I actually believe this is important. So what I'm going to do is talk a little bit more about because some of the questions that came up from people were, about, is it a Ponzi, or, and they have these ideas, people have these ideas about like what DeFi is and what crypto is, and basically they feel like it doesn't have a leg to stand on, right? And some cryptos are that way. But it occurred to me while I was talking to somebody about that when you compare it to our current financial system, when you compare what Forex has built to a bank, right? And we trust banks for some reason. They're all we've had for a long time. But this ecosystem that we have in drip, I'm sorry about the noise, you guys. I don't know where else to film this. this ecosystem that we have in Drip and Animal Farm that Forex has built far, far, far outruns any bank and what they will do for you. And the thing that occurred to me when I was having this conversation, because she was like, well, you know, how is it? Basically, it depends on people's buy-in, right? Their belief and, you know, how many people buy in. And I was trying to explain to her utility. And I realized, like, the utility, and Forex has talked about this a lot, but the utility of a bank is no greater than what Forex has built. What Forex has built is much greater, much more, what's the word, for the people. Can't really think of the right term right now, but, you know, much more inclusive. And there's so much more potential for each and every one of us to create wealth. Whereas the banks are more of like a design system for a few people to create wealth and the rest of us to fund that, to pay them, put our money in there so that they can use it to create more wealth for themselves. And I don't think very many people just in the common population. Okay, I don't want to say that because so many of us are smart. It's just, it's hard to make these connections because DeFi and crypto are so new on the scene, and we've been trusting banks for a long time. But when she asked me, like, well, yeah, it depends on like the buy-in, right? And a lot of people ask that. I was like, yeah, but also so do banks. Banks are no less of a Ponzi than crypto and DeFi. And where banks were designed to make us the utility, I think, for the bankers and, you know, the wealthy few that were in on this scheme. Forex has designed the ecosystem with elements of utility that will roll out as Animal Farm opens, but also in the future for the investors, which is us, right? And banks, they rely on buy-in as well. They rely on a belief system as well. Because if we didn't believe that a bank is a safe place to keep our money and that's where we should put our money, and we didn't do that, then they would not have the capital that they have to make that money work for them, right? And with the Forex ecosystems, it is based on belief. Like, if you don't have people that believe, just like with the banks and these other financial systems, like if people didn't believe gold was valuable, gold wouldn't have a value. It would still be valuable, like, innately, I guess. But yes, because there's aspects of gold that make it unique. But if people didn't believe that it was worth trading for, say you have a economy or a society where food is what's scarce and water. You can't get water. Gold doesn't mean shit. So everything that we believe has value only has value because we believe it does. And some of these things are a Ponzi. Yeah. And I think banks fall into that category as much as anything else. But the one reason I'm so excited about Forex is projects and his ecosystem, and if you listen to his AMAs, you understand this, is that this is a very well thought out, like, kind of like, I would compare it to potentially being like a bank, but a bank for the people, a bank that is built for each individual investors, not a tiny little cluster of investors that have managed to outsmart the rest of us, right? What he's built for us as individual investors gives us the chance to do what this little cluster investors at the top of the banking food chain does for themselves, and that is to make your money work for you without having to sell your native assets, without having to take the asset that is valuable and put it on the market and sell it to get value in return. And so this is the exciting thing about Animal Farm being added to the Drip ecosystem. To me, Drip is already, like, even without the utility, like with buy-in, even if Drip was $1, you know, a lot of YouTubers have mentioned this, but even if it was $1, you can still get a return on your investment. And it's genius. It's a genius place to put your money and make it work for you. But add the Animal Farm to that, and, you know, get you some pigs, get your investments in the right place. Get a strategy, and you can do this with a small amount of money or a large amount of money. Get a strategy where this ecosystem is working for you, and you have unlimited possibilities in this, right? Like the way it's built with the farms and the pools and the pig pen. I wish I had gotten a chance to do a video on that before launch, but I do think it's going to be equally important to talk about this as launch rolls out and as new utility is added. But the pig pen is super exciting because what it does is it gives us the ability to be an owner in a platform, just like the owners of crypto.com or the owners of the bank that get to collect all the fees, right? If you've ever been broke, you know that when you can't afford the balance in your account, you get charged a fee, you get charged an overdraft fee, you get charged interest on any loan they give you or a credit card, and they are collecting those fees. And you're poor, and you're paying more of them because you're poor, and they're just taking them, right? Well, any DeFi platform, any crypto like DEX is set up as a place that collects fees for exchanging. So Forex is basically taken this and set it up like any of these entities, any of these big exchanges. So I'll call both banks and crypto DeFi exchanges same thing for now. Set it up so that we get to collect those fees as well. We get to have ownership in collecting those fees. And there's nothing like that built in any financial system right now. Most of these are built with greed, like, okay, let's set this up so people can exchange tokens or dollars or whatever it is they're exchanging, and we'll just get really, really rich on all of the fees that we collect, right? That's basically the premise, and that's genius, because it's like, oh, here, just do this with your money and throw it in here, and we'll only charge you a fee when you take it out or when you borrow from us, or, you know. And so in the ecosystem, the pig pen is what gives us as individuals the chance to become a part of that, to benefit from the fees rather than just be paying them, right? And that is an amazing opportunity. And the way he set it up so that you can utilize your drip to earn pigs, you can utilize your different tokens to earn pigs or dogs, to invest in a way that is best for you and your individual path, is absolutely incredible. There's so many options for wherever you're at, whatever your needs are, right? There's options to create instant cash flow today, tomorrow, and there's options to create a long-term benefit that will set you up like the wealthy few. So I just wanted to point that out in kind of layman's terms, because it can take a while to get familiar with DeFi and crypto jargon and to understand what all of these things mean and what Forex is saying on his AMAs. And so I want to just make it easy to understand, and kind of with that comparison, that contrast between between our current banks and Ponzi's and the crypto DeFi space, but specifically Forex's ecosystem. You guys, this is so exciting. Launch is happening, and it's just going to get cooler from here, right? There's going to be more marketing. There's going to be more utility added. This is going to turn into a giant. Okay, it will be an absolute giant, and those who get in now will benefit the most, because once it becomes a giant, I mean, there's always a bigger barrier to entry. The tokens are more expensive, there's more demand, less supply, and all of these things. So get in now and realize that this is not just about getting your money back in 3 months. This is about both the short and the long game, and play it that way. Just realize that you're valuable enough, and you are important enough, and you do have what it takes to be financially literate and successful like these wealthy few. They've just been monopolizing it for a very long time, and now we have the chance, thanks to Forex and thanks to DeFi, the blockchain, we have the chance to make the same moves. So let's do it. Let's get in there and do it. Again, if you're looking for strategy, I will definitely make some of those videos in the future. But if you are looking for a strategy, you're trying to say, okay, you're wondering like, what shall I do? Should I do? Shall? Who talks that way? I'm like medieval times out here in Oregon. Go check out Crypto King's videos. He has quite a few of them where he talks about strategy. Scott the Investor, Stana Breezy, Beach Office, 365, Driptopian. Driptopian has some of Forex's latest AMAs on there. Oh yeah, Bartertown Conglomerate. He's like Forex's. He's in there. He's got the deets. He's got the DL. So get your coin in the ecosystem. Get in the farm. Get in Drip. And I'll see you on the inside. All right, so I've been traveling most of the day with very little service, and I'm just getting caught up on the fact that Animal Farm did in fact not launch today. So, my perspective on it is there really is a Forex standard time, which I'm totally okay with because I'm also late on pretty much everything. But on top of that, here's my perspective. Like, yeah, it probably feels disappointing to a lot of people, and it may feel like a breach of confidence, but my perspective is Forex has always been this way. He's always been a little bit late on things, and that doesn't change anything regarding the integrity of the project, the platform, and really I can't talk. The other thing I want to say is that most of us don't understand what it would actually take to launch a project like this flawlessly, right? This kind of development is, for one, very new. For two, it takes a lot of skill, ingenuity, and probably testing. And so it doesn't really bother me. It doesn't make me lose faith in Forex or lose trust. Yeah, it's anticlimactic. It's disappointing. But I'm still here. I still have just as much faith as always. And to me, I'd rather have it launch well and launch for longevity than have it launch exactly when he said it is. So my perspective on that, yeah, I hope you guys feel the same way. I hope that everyone just is here to show up and support and also get our money in there. So definitely I will be on with an update tomorrow. I'll be watching the updates. I'll be kind of tapping in with the rest of you guys. So we'll see where this goes.